Water pretty much makes up this whole planet. And it's this just beautiful world. And most people don't get to see it unless you're snorkeling, you're diving, or you're keeping aquariums. It's just out of sight, out of mind. They're now kind of your friends in like a weird way, you know, like you're responsible for them, you're feeding them, you start learning their characteristics. Each fish is, you know, has its own little life, lives in its own ecosystem within a larger ecosystem. It's sort of this thing that's just happened in my life. I realized I just care for stuff. That's what I like to do. So for me, there's a whole process behind it that I enjoy, that maintaining this habitat, keeping it healthy, that's very satisfying, right? Seeing things grow. I always like to encourage what we call biotope aquariums, which can be a very loose term. All that means is that you're sort of replicating the natural environment. It's quite a bit different than just putting them in a box and leaving them, versus like really thinking about what their habitat is. And I think sort of an aquarium is like a celebration of that natural habitat is kind of where the fascination for me comes from. So this is about 2 years old. This is just a standard 40-gallon breeder aquarium. What that means is it's 36 inches long, so 3 feet long, 18 inches wide, and then it's 16 inches tall. This is called a Borboronius anthus or a blotched anthus. I think it's just fascinating. It is like a kind of a celebration of what the natural world is. If I had a 5-year-old draw that fish and told you that this was real, you probably wouldn't believe it. So this is a beautiful soft coral called a Kojiwada nephthya. You can see that I can move it around. It's soft. All right, flows in the current. So then the other type of coral is a hard coral. And so that's where all these little guys are. This orange one, this beautiful one here. Corals grow in different shapes, they'd be different colors. So you get to see all these like natural changes that just happen from the environments you put them in.
Do you name your fish?
I don't. There's a weird, so I used to have a fish called shahuhu.
Perfect.
It could be anything. It could be a little jar, it can be an actual aquarium, it can be an acrylic aquarium, it can be humongous. For me, that all kind of wraps in. You still have an enclosed ecosystem that you're sort of maintaining. But it's a waiting game. This is the patience. Like, I'm only a month and a half into this system, like 2 months now probably actually. But still extremely early. Like, this will go away. This will look as beautiful as the other tank. It just takes a while. It's just how it is. You obviously need the water. You gotta choose between your salt water or your fresh water. There is some in-betweens, but not for a beginner. And then once you get to that point, it's what are the inhabitants you want. Could be a beta fish, just in like a little 5-gallon aquarium. It does not have to be this epic multi-$1,000 project. So if it's going to be salt water, you need a filter to filter that water, you need some heaters, you need the lights, and then you need the tools to help maintain it. Buckets, scrapers, some other water filters to filter like tap water. My aquariums are not the most highest end equipment, right? But I employ like just simple aquarist, basic hobbyist technique or husbandry techniques. And I'm relatively consistent with that. And so you can see what you can do with budget pumps, with relatively budget lights. That's kind of it, honestly, and then food. It's relatively simple when you like break everything down.
Oh, these are the pellets?
These are the pellets, yeah. There's people that just love one particular aspect and they get very, very focused on that. I love corals, all right? I can go see corals from the Caribbean, Great Barrier Reef, throughout Indonesia, the Red Sea, Egypt. There's all these places that have corals. And so for me, it's more of just an extension of, I've been very fortunate enough to travel. And then wherever I'm going, what aquarium stuff is there? And what can I explore? Aquarium hobby used to just take a lot of fish and things from the ocean and corals. There wasn't a lot of thought because we thought it was just a renewable source that you could just keep taking from, but I was learning that's not the case, and there's been a whole lot of change. That's where getting into that aquaculture, getting into captive breeding, a lot of reefers don't even know what really is behind the collection of these animals. One of the reasons why I share so much, pictures of me with corals and diving and snorkeling, because it, again, is that connection to where do they come from? And so that's a huge part of what I like to teach people. You are gonna have to go through that growth phase, which is fun. I want people to like embrace that, enjoy it. You get to learn this whole new thing and explore whatever the wormhole subject you want in it. I guarantee a lot of people will like it. It's just getting that first knowledge can be a little bit daunting for people, and then using resources around you. So like a local aquarium store, we're finding some good resources online where people kind of share their experience and you can learn. It's just about fits, you know, these tanks. So
I really don't know what else you'd use this space for. It's too narrow.
I know, I built all of this.
Oh, wow.
I built all of it. Yeah, I built this. I built all these shelves, like everything I put in there. The more people that have aquariums, in my opinion, ethically, sustainably are keeping them, the more people are aware of the underwater world. I think it's a huge part of that connection to our world and protecting it and making it healthy and keeping ourselves healthy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to discover more hobbies and visit notjustahobby.com to learn more.